Hello everyone and welcome to the National School Game Show 2012. We're into our 7th edition this week and we are very glad to see all of you joining us every week to catch the exciting matches and games, as well as the interesting stories about your school teams and some of your classmates. I'm Nurul Hafiza, but you can call me Fiza.
And I am Aloysius. As we are heading to the final stretch of this year's NSG season, you can be very sure that we will be providing you with all the important matches from the A and B division competitions. So don't be shy and head down to your favourite venues to support your favourite teams and friends.
And if you want to see more of your favourite athletes, so maybe your friends, relatives or even yourself, you can catch the highlights and pictures on our VOXSPORTS and Facebook pages, as well as on www.singaporesports.tv.
So just spread the word about this show to all your family and friends and allow them to share the passion.
Now every week we'll give you a chance to win vouchers totaling $300, sponsored by Western Corporation, Singapore's premier soccer saw.
Well, Fiza, are you ready for this week's show?
Of course!
Let's begin with action from the A Division Girls final and third placing matches. We are at the Jalan Besar Stadium now and the atmosphere is simply electrifying, so let's catch all the action.
The third placing match in the SSSC FAS National Inter-School Football Championship saw the Millennia Institute girls lead by 2 early goals at the Jalan Besar Stadium. But last year's A Division girls champion Victoria Junior College showed their class by putting 3 goals past the Millennia Institute defence. But MI was up for the challenge that VJC put down before them. MI found the equaliser late in the second half to make the scoreline 3 goals apiece. The two teams kept fighting but could not be separated at the end of extra time. The match went into penalties and it was MI that made the first mistake. The VJC keeper dived the right way to save a low driving shot by MI. That gave VJC the chance to clinch the match. The Victoria JC girls made no mistake from the penalty spot as they scored the winning penalty and took the match 4-3 on penalties.
I think VJC put a good fight to equalize and at the same time take the lead in the early part of second half. And I think my girls showed a lot of resilience, a lot of perseverance to equalize in the very last minute. But also, I think the VJC girls had a better spot kickers than my girls. I think their nerve did not hold that much. But to be fair to my girls, I think they have done Millennia Institute proud because this is the first time they broke into the top 4. And they are the only unbeaten team in open play to date.
In the final, it was Meridian Junior College against Raffles Institution at the Jalan Besar Stadium. Supporters of both schools packed the stands as the match kicked off. With defending champions VJC taking 3rd place this year, the match promised a new champion this year. And in the early stages, it seemed like MJC would be the ones to win it, as they clearly had the better chances to take the lead and control the match. The RI girls tried to come back with an attack of their own in the second half, but they were denied by the MJC defence. The Meridian girls continued to have great chances in front of the RI goal. However, they spurned their chances in front of goal while RI's strong defensive play denied them penetration into the box. The match was deadlocked well into the second half. MJC had a glorious chance to break the deadlock, but their finishing failed them once again. That gave the girls from Raffles Institution a chance to take the lead themselves. An error in the 6-yard box by the MJC defenders allowed Raffles Institution to take the lead late in the game against the run of play. Raffles then held on to the lead till the final whistle as they won the match by that solitary goal. The Raffles Institution supporters went into a frenzy as their team finally won a tournament that has been thoroughly dominated by VJC in recent years. The girls took home the gold medal after winning the game with a final scoreline of 1-0 and will surely be looking forward to defending their title next year.
I think throughout the season, the girls work very hard. We work on three things. I always tell the girl, one, you must have desire, you have to work hard, and you got to believe. So I think throughout the tournament, it's printed on all their t-shirt behind the word believe. So I'm a Man U fan, so it used to be in their badge. So they use that as throughout, as to believe that they will go all the way. So I am happy for them.
Congratulations to Raffles Institution on being the newly crowned champions in the girls' football tournament.
Well, Fiza, after watching the ladies play, I'm really excited to see the boys play as well. So let's catch the highlights from the A Division boys semi-finals.
Will the favourites book their places in the final, or will the underdogs cause an upset?
In the first semi-final between Anglo-Chinese Junior College and Meridian Junior College, MJC took an early lead in the match, showing their opponents why they were the defending champions. ACJC had a few chances to come back using their set pieces, but they would have no luck in front of goal. Arguably the best chance for the boys from ACJC came in the second half as they hit the woodwork twice from close range. MJC then took advantage of ACJC's misfortune as they scored again to extend their lead and stamp their authority in the match. ACJC yet again tried to pull back using their set pieces, but the Meridian keeper was more than up for the challenge they posed. MJC's attackers were on fire as the game went on, as they added another goal with a sublime flick to the top corner, extending their lead to 4-0. That effectively sealed the deal for Meridian Junior College as they booked their place in the final.
Today was a very strong feeling I have from the boys before the game because we're preparing very well for this game. The boys did exactly what we planned for today's games. The strong opponent that we know the CDC is opponent, they come strong in the second half where we win the game, to be honest, in the first half. But we believe that I give credit to the boys because they follow the structure very well, and I think we deserve to win because we did a very good performance in the first half.
In the second semi-final, St. Andrews Junior College took an early lead against Victoria Junior College and pressed on in the first half to extend their lead. But the VJC defence would not allow for that as the team in green found their way back into the game. VJC started attacking more as they outran the Saints with their superior speed and stamina. But the SAJC keeper was there to save his team. VJC kept spurning their chances in front of the SAJC goal with another shot sailing over the bar. But the equaliser would come courtesy of some skillful play by VJC as they scored from a tight angle to make the scoreline 1-1 right before half-time. But the teams could not be separated after 120 minutes of open play. Thus, the match was forced into penalties. SAJC's players stepped up to the spot and made no mistake with their penalty kicks. But VJC then went on to miss twice from the penalty spot, giving the Saints a firm lead. The Saints went on to seal the deal as they won 4-2 on penalties. They will now face MJC in the final showdown.
Those were some great goals, weren't they, Aloy? I can't wait for the football final.
Yes, Fiza, and neither can I. But we will just have to wait a little while longer. In the meantime, let's catch up with some action from A Division tennis.
Last week, we saw ACJC and RI book their spots in the A Division Girls Final. This time, the gentlemen take to the court to see which team will face off in the grand final.
The semi-finals of the National Inter-School Tennis Championships saw defending champions Raffles Institution take on the boys from St. Andrews Junior College. And in the 5 matches that were played between the two sides, Raffles Institution would have no trouble in defeating their opponents in all 5, winning with a score of 5-0. RI will now aim to win the A Division double for the second straight year, as both the boys and girls teams are in the finals this year. In the second semi-final, Anglo-Chinese School Independent faced off against Anglo-Chinese Junior College for the second finalist spot. And the boys from ACSI would have no problems putting away their opponents in this match with ease. They won the tie with an overall score of 5-0. RI and ACSI will now meet in the final in what would be a rematch of last year's boys' final.
Obviously, we are looking to defend our double goal, and facing ACS again, I think it's going to be another epic finals lah. And we won the B division and they won the C division, so now the A division is going to be the tiebreaker, and we're really excited about it. My team is going to be training very hard over this week, so I just really hope we can really give our best for our school next week, and hopefully we can break the double goal. Yeah.
Wow, Fiza, the sporting action on today's show just keeps getting better and better. What do we have next?
Relax, Aloy. I think the people at home need a short break, and so do I. So let's go for one now.
Well, stay tuned because We'll see who became the champions in the A Division Girls Softball Finals. Also find out which teams booked their place in the finals of the A Division Basketball Championships.
And like always, stay tuned for details of our weekly contest. Be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the NSG Show 2012. And you're right on time for the details of this week's contest. If this is the first time you're playing the game, this is how you do it.
Listen up for a simple question at the end of today's show. Just send us the correct answer and you'll stand a chance to win vouchers totaling $300. Our prizes are proudly sponsored by Western Corporation, Singapore's premier soccer store.
Email your answers to nsgshow@voxsports.net with your full name, IC number and contact numbers. We have 7 winners each week, but please submit only 1 entry per person.
Alright Aloy, let's move on to our next story. We have the A Division Boys Softball Championship. Let's see who won the battle for the bronze medal.
ACSI and National Junior College met in the third placing match at the Kallang Diamonds for the A Division Inter-School Softball Championships 2012. And it was ACSI who got off to the better start in the 5 innings match. Their pitching and fielding were excellent in the opening stages as they refused to give NJC any runs. And when NJC got onto the field to pitch, their errors in fielding allowed ACSI to take control of the game. The boys from ACSI hit well, took the bases and made the runs to put NJC on the back foot and give themselves a firm lead against their opponents. NJC's players did take their occasional hits well and managed to score 3 runs in the 5 innings that they battled. But it would not be enough against an informed ACSI side who battled well and struck out the NJC batters time and again to win the match with a scoreline of 12-3. The result allows them to retain their third placing from last year.
Basically, we played well. We made a lot of hits. You could see we were quite in control from the start of the game. But I would say the opponent played well too. The pitching was really good. So yeah, it was a good performance and all.
Our motivation as seniors was that this is our last game, and then so we wanted to play our best because it's sort of the end of our softball careers and all. Yeah, we are gonna celebrate, and then after that, it's pretty much the end of our softball. So we're gonna have to hopefully continue playing uni or something.
Yeah, maybe in the future we might find other avenues to play softball, but it depends on where we go in the future.
You have to admit this, Fiza, that our softball boys do have some real talent, don't they?
Well, of course, Aloy, but it's not just the boys with all the talent. There are great players in the A Division girls too. Their talents were on display in the third placing and final matches of this year's softball championship.
And I heard that we were assured of new champions this year. Let's find out who came out on tops.
The third placing match between Anglo-Chinese JC and Victoria JC saw VJC tie up the match in the bottom of the 5th to tie the game at 3-all and force extra innings. In extra innings, however, the match became lopsided as ACJC went on an incredible run with their batters. Having loaded the bases with 2 outs left, the batters from ACJC reined in the runs. But while the runs were pouring in, the bases were still loaded, and that allowed ACJC to score 12 runs in that single extra inning to make the scoreline 15-3. And as ACJC prepared to field, they knew the game was within reach. They went on to limit VJC to just 3 runs in the bottom of the extra innings. That sealed the victory for ACJC as they took home 3rd position. In the final of the National Inter-School Softball Championship, Hwa Chong Institution faced off against Raffles Institution. Raffles had an early but slim advantage as they went into the 3rd innings 2-1 up. But in the bottom of the 3rd innings, the batters from Raffles Institution came alive as they hit hard and ran fast to extend their lead. They scored 3 quick runs in that innings to stretch the lead to 5-1. The girls from RI then extended their lead by adding another run to their run tally. The team was in cruise control as they entered the later stages of the game. HCI pulled 1 run back in the closing stages of the match. But it was too little too late for the team in red as the match ended with a scoreline of 6-2 in favour of RI. RI wins the softball title for the first time since 1997.
Kudos to the new champions of this year's A Division Girls Softball Finals for a wonderful performance. Now let's move on from the field to the courts as the top 4 teams in the A Division Boys and Girls divisions competed for a place in this year's Basketball Championship Finals. Will traditional powerhouse Hwa Chong Institution still stay en route for a 5th consecutive double? Or did another team have something else to say about this? Let's catch all the action from the Singapore Basketball Centre.
The semi-finals of the Converse National Inter-School Basketball Championships started off with Hwa Chong Institution facing off against Raffles Institution. And it was HCI who took the lead early. HCI's accurate shooting and speedy fast breaks gave them a clear advantage against their opponents as HCI breached the Raffles defense time and again. RI rallied back in the later stages of the game. They scored by using their fluid attacking play to their advantage. But it was too little too late for RI as HCI closed out the game with a scoreline of 81-51. In the second semi-final, Anderson Junior College took on Dunman High School. AJC showed that they were clearly the better side since the start as they drove into the lane and scored at will. DHS attempted to mount a comeback later in the game, and they were close to doing so, outscoring their opponents in the fourth quarter. But AJC managed to hold on and close out the game 65-55.
I think that our team did very well today. Not individually because during the past few games only a few pick up, but today everybody pick it up. So I think it's a very good experience. So it's like every team work together, everybody work hard together, and we achieve what we want to from the start.
In the girls' semi-finals, Raffles Institution were up against Serangoon Junior College. It was clear from the start that Raffles were one notch above their competition. The fast and accurate Raffles Institution girls showed their shooting range by scoring from both the inside and the outside. They took a commanding lead in the early stages of the game. SRJC couldn't find a way back as Raffles stretched their lead to finish the game with a scoreline of 93-22.
I thought my team performed quite well today in the sense that we were very hardworking on court, and whoever was field was like just gave their 100%. And apart from that, I think it was a very great team effort also because like we managed to control the game and have our own tempo and our own pace, and we did not follow the opponent's pace. Yeah.
Anderson Junior College and Hwa Chong Institution met in the second semi-final, and it was AJC that took the lead into half-time. Defending champions Hwa Chong Institution, however, would get back into the game as they bounced back in the second half. Their shooters were accurate down the stretch as they found their shooting form. That aided HCI in taking the lead in what was a hard-fought match. The HCI girls then proceeded to wrap up the match with a scoreline of 59-43.
At the beginning, the match was quite close. Okay, we thought there was a chance. Actually, from the start, before we started the game, we know it's not gonna be easy, but we didn't want it to be easy for our opponent also. So I thought we did a great job for defending, but towards the end they scored quite well. Towards the end they cherished their ball more, so they start scoring.
All the 8 teams in the semi-finals did really well, I must say. On behalf of everyone here in the NSG Show, we wish them all the very best in their upcoming third placing and final matches. Well, it's time for us to take a short break. But don't go anywhere because we'll be back with highlights from the A Division Rugby third placing and final matches. Plus, listen out for this week's contest question. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back to the National School Game Show. It's time for us to give you our weekly contest question. And this week's contest question is, what was the final score of the A Division Girls Football Final? What was the final score of the A Division Girls Football Final?
Email your answers to this address with your full name, IC number and contact details. As usual, there are only 7 winners each week. So send your answers to us quickly to stand a chance to win vouchers totaling $300.
Our prizes are proudly sponsored by Western Corporation, Singapore's premier soccer store.
Well, it's time for us to move on to highlights from the A Division Rugby Plate semi-finals. The teams that missed out on the top 4 positions now compete for the title of Plate Champions. Let's see which team made the best use of their second chance.
In the National Inter-School Rugby Plate semi-finals held at the PESEB field, Jurong Junior College scored first against Millennia Institute in the first semi-final. The Jurong JC boys went on to score the conversion kick that followed and gave themselves a 7-0 lead at half-time. JJC continued their dominance in the second half as they scored a try once again with their excellent attacking play. The MI boys had no reply to JJC as JJC won the match with a 12-0 scoreline. In the second semi-final match, Pioneer JC dominated play against Catholic JC in the first half. The boys from Catholic Junior College tried to come back in the second half with greater attacking play. They scored a try and a conversion to get themselves back into the game. But the boys from Pioneer Junior College were just too strong for their opponents as they scored again and won the match with a one-sided scoreline of 18-7.
Good luck to the finalists of this year's Rugby Plate competition.
From the plate, we now move on to the main competition of the A Division Police Cup. After losing out in the semi-final matches, Anglo-Chinese Junior College and St Andrews Junior College were vying for the prize third placing.
Both teams were expected to give their all as it was their very last match in this year's tournament. Let's find out who came out tops.
Anglo-Chinese Junior College and St Andrews Junior College battled for third place at the PESEB field. And it were the boys from Anglo-Chinese Junior College that started attacking first and proceeded to take a 3-0 lead in the hard-fought first half. But with supporters from both sides cheering their hearts out, both sides were ready to go into the second half. However, it was SAJC that would take a stronger stand in the second half. The Saints attacked their opponents relentlessly in a search for a way back into the game. And the breakthrough would come as the Saints were rewarded for their efforts. A strong wave of attack into the ACJC third gave the Saints a try, which then gave them the lead for the first time in the match. But the Saints would not be satisfied with their lead as they pressed on to make their lead a commanding one. A slip-up in the ACJC defensive line allowed St Andrews JC to score another try to put the match out of the reach of their opponents. SAJC took home third place after winning the match with a scoreline of 12-3.
I think it was a bit jumpy at the start, but then we pulled through in the end, and I'm very, very proud of the boys and how they pulled through near the end. They got really physical, they coordinated much better, and we really finished off better, and they helped us to win. Most of the players are quite new to the game, and they're very raw, and that's that raw power that kind of fuels the desire for the team to win, and I think it helped us pull through today.
I think my team played very well. I think we played as a team. I'm very thankful for all of them for putting in their best effort. I think set pieces today played a very important part of the outcome. I think their set pieces were sharper than us today, and we lost out on that.
Now we know that St Andrews took home the third place. It's time to find out who will be the champions of this year's A Division Police Cup.
And we are right here at the Home Team Academy to see who will win this year's showdown between current defending champions ACS Independent and former champions Raffles Institution.
Looking at the crowds and hearing the cheers, I'm sure it's going to be a great match to watch. Let's not waste any more time and catch the final battle.
And it was a great game played by ACSI in this match from start to finish. The ACSI boys took control of the game from the very start as they scored at will with their unstoppable offense. They took a commanding 8-0 lead early in the game. But unlike their semi-final match, ACSI never took their foot off the gas pedal as they drove to score more and more against a Raffles side which struggled to contend with the attacks of the defending champions. The ACSI boys continued to dominate in the second half as well as they bashed through the opponent's defense time and again. With the game firmly in their hands, the ACSI boys showed that their offense was the best defense as they never really allowed Raffles much time on the ball. And even when RI seemed to get the ball and looked to mount an attack, the ACSI boys brought them down and seemed to pin RI in their own half. The boys from ACSI eventually won the game with the final score reading 23-0 in favour of the boys in yellow. ACSI took home the Police Cup for a second straight year, beating old favourites Raffles to prove that they were the new force to be reckoned with in the A Division Police Cup.
Oh, it feels amazing, man. It's just top of the world, lah. Yeah. We came in knowing that as the title holders, like it's really super high pressure. But then when we won, it's just amazing, lah. Yeah. Well, we really just wanted to just play as a team, like just do it for each other, and of course, as being a Christian school, we just wanted to do it for God. Yeah. Honestly, it's been really tight. And right at the end of the season, we had many injuries, but even throughout the entire game today, a lot of the quite a few of the guys holding injuries were playing out 100%. So like yeah, it's just it's indescribable. I would say it was spectacular. There were tries that we didn't imagine. Like the last try, it was our hooker who gave the kick and the score at the end. So then it was really exciting.
We saw a terrific game this afternoon. I think Raffles Institution put up a tremendous fight. These guys had a lot of resilience. They gave ACS Independent a lot of trouble. But I think the ACSI guys put in a lot of work, and they wanted to make sure that they won this for their Year 6s going out this year. I think what we saw today augurs really well for youth rugby in Singapore. The standard of school rugby here is terrific. I encourage all of these boys to keep on playing and play for the national team one day.
I think my team, we played our best. We played well, we trained well, but we were unfortunate in some circumstances, and maybe this was our first final. We made a few mistakes and they capitalized on it, so the credit's on them.
I think we were evenly matched. Maybe they were more clinical at times, which allowed them to get some points on the board, and when we were in their half, we couldn't do the same, therefore we lost the game. Yeah. So they do deserve to win, they were slightly better. Yeah.
Our set pieces, we didn't do as well as we did, and I think it's all about clinical. We couldn't convert our territory and our possession into points, and I think that's what let us down today.
This loss has only made our J1s hungrier, so we're going to come back stronger next year. The J2s, the Year 6s, we don't have a second chance. After our A-levels, we're going to come back and help our J1s out. We're all one big family. We're going to do this together. We're going to go for the goal next year.
Congratulations to ACSI for winning the title. The final score for today is 23-0.
With that, Fiza, we have come to the end of yet another interesting and exciting show, and I'm very sure that all of you will be eagerly awaiting for our next few episodes, as we promise to bring you more exciting highlights from the National School Games.
That's right, we'll bring you more sporting action here on the National School Game Show. And don't forget to visit our website to comment, like or share our stories with your family and friends. Remember, share the passion.
Also, do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter for more updates and highlights.
See you next week.
Take care, and we will see you in 7 days. Bye-bye.
Bye.